Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into News 10 Plus. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Claudia Sella.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. You can't see it, but Claudia has these very New Year's looking pants on. They're very sparkly. Oh, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
That was high.
Yeah.
I like it. Silver and sparkly. There you go.
Yeah,
for the sparkles,
it's a good feel for this Monday because we're not getting like snow or anything like that. So I thought I'd bring some, sparkles to Studio 10.
I like it.
But did you have a good weekend?
It was nice. It was really busy.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a lot running around, like holiday shopping, getting ready for holiday parties, all of that. But it was a good weekend.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
How was yours?
It was good. I went to Krampus night, which was...
I heard that was good.
It was very good. It was very spooky. Had a lot of fun, but... and it was just, the weather was great. It wasn't, like, freezing, and it was, like, we were all enjoying being outside, like, one last time, or that's what it felt like, at least, but apparently it's pretty warm outside. But, yeah, it was a really great time. But we also are going to have a great week, so it's always exciting to come back. Speaking of over the weekend, now, I don't know if you can go back to your 2010 brain.
Oh, no.
2010.
What was I doing
when,
at that time?
like, Super Bass was really big, the song.
Is that how long ago?
Yeah, 2010,
No.
2011, yeah, so like 13 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Okay.
Well, this weekend I was very reminiscent and very nostalgic because
of course.
Nicki Minaj dropped Pink Friday 2, her album. Now, this is a really big deal because if you go way back to 2010,
Yep.
this was like...
That was a great one.
It was a great album. It broke her out on the scene, but it also, like, took the women in hip-hop's future. It just changed the entire future of women in hip-hop. It's so cool. And to see that she, she's 41 and she just dropped this album, to see how far she's come since
really
this
cool.
happened is really cool. So we're going to talk about that a little bit on the show today.
All right. That's a good one to start off the week.
Yeah, it's
it's a Monday, but we're looking ahead to a Pink Friday. So there you go.
Exactly. Oh, and who doesn't love pink? Anything with pink is my favorite color. So, but then we also have a really cozy show because we're going to have Sensations on the show today talking about all of her amazing candles. We've had one that I keep like sniffing because it's just open and you can smell it if it's open.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
Exactly. That's when you know it's good. And it's like a limoncello scent, and it's so good. It's perfect for after the holidays, too. But she has so many more scents. And I'm excited to share what all of those are. But then we also have a story we're having dietitians we're going to talk to about staying healthy during the holidays. How do you, do what's best for you and still be, eating people's food that they're, because, it sometimes can feel rude to say no, but sometimes saying no is in your best interest. So just kind of talking about how you can be as healthy as possible over the holidays as well. So
it's
really,
tricky.
It is. It's totally tricky. And, I come from a big Italian family, so saying no sometimes isn't really an option.
Because they could be offended.
Yes. Or if I say no, it doesn't matter. It still goes on my plate.
Yes, that happens too.
Yeah, so just kind of learning how to navigate those situations and really be like the best advocate for your health. So, we have a really positive show, and we can't wait to see you at 3.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Claudia. That's a lot of fun going on. Okay, sounds
it's a
good.
very fun Friday. Friday? Monday.
It's like, I wish.
Off to a great start here.
Because we keep saying Friday with Pink Friday.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's okay. Well, we'll give you a break. It's Monday.
Yeah.
But if you want to tune into Studio 10, thank you, Claudia. You can always do so starting at 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday during the week. Studio 10 is always popping up around that time. And so you can catch them at 3 o'clock. Or if you want to rewatch anything or you're unable to watch them at 3 o'clock, go to WILX.com and you can find them more that way. Or look up at WILX Studio 10. That's where you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, which is now X. And then if you want to email them, you can do studio10@WILX.com. But, Claudia and I were talking about some of the events that we went to this past weekend. And Justin, it was a bit of an interesting weekend. I know all of our meteorologists, you included, talking about snow, talking about rain, and we did see some of that.
Right.
But it wasn't as bad as maybe some other people thought. You warned,
Sure,
you
yeah.
all warned it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, and you know what? Throughout the week, that was what last week we were kind of looking at, right? We had the potential for that storm, but that's why, once again, you see those models people are putting out saying, oh, look at all this snow we're going to get when it was Tuesday of last week.
Yeah.
And heading towards the weekend, well, look what we got, right? I mean, it wasn't too much, and so that was good. We missed the big impacts from that storm, which, of course, had severe weather south of us and had some flooding off to the east of us, but here, we didn't see much more than a little bit of drizzle and certainly some strong winds and a few snowflakes at times, too. Saturday, a windy and mild day. Record highs for December 9th fell 59 in Lansing, 60 in Jackson.
It's warm.
That's pretty warm, especially this time of year in December. And so we don't have any warmth like that coming anytime real soon, I don't think, but we're going to be mild more than normal throughout most of the next several days. I think the next 3 are going to be the coldest. After that, we've got a long string of 40s incoming, and so that's what we've got to look forward to if you're someone who isn't looking forward to any snow.
Well, I did see a lot of people over the weekend who were not wearing their winter coats, myself included, and I get cold easily, and I was like, I don't need a coat.
Yeah.
It's so warm. So looking forward to more of that.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the trend we're heading in. Now, we've been talking a lot because we're starting to get those questions. Christmas Day, 2 weeks from today, and those questions are pouring in. Are we going to have a white Christmas? What are things looking like? Well, we are breaking that down. We're talking about it today, and for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be discussing what we expect. If you want my quick and easy answer right now, I doubt it. And that's what I've got right now. It's because we're going to be above normal so often these next week or even 2 weeks that it's going to be really hard to get any snow to stick. And if most of the precipitation does come through, it would be rain. But it doesn't look like we have any precipitation, rain or snow, for a lot of this forecast. And so at this point, of course, things can change. It's still 2 weeks away, but it's going to be really hard to get some snow on the ground. In fact, we've only 2 of the last 6 Christmases had snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Of course, last year we had that big storm come in right before the holiday, but the previous 4 years before that we did not. And in fact, we had a day close to 60, and we had another day well into the 50s on Christmas Day 2 out of the last 4 years. And so if you had asked me today, I would say we're more likely going towards something like that than having snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. We'll talk a bit more about that. There's a couple events coming up this week we want to touch on too.
Okay.
A meteor shower that'll be taking place, and
Yes.
it's one of the brightest of the whole year, so we'll discuss that too.
All right, well, we'll get a look outside right now because,
Yep.
as you're saying, we're 2 weeks away from Christmas, and it is just not looking like it.
No, it's not. And certainly having a little bit of a cloudy sky gives you at least a partial feel of, okay, it is December. You know, it's a little gray and gloomy out there, but there's no snow cover, and it's staying dry once again. That's going to be the theme of this forecast, as we mentioned, moving forward. US 127 out there on that Meridian Company Skycam network, still stuck at 33 degrees, and so it is a little bit cooler outside, and so that's what we have going on this afternoon. Now, the temperatures are generally running right around those low 30s in most spots. Once again, tough to move those numbers today with the clouds and a steady west wind. You can see that the cooler air has kind of taken over, but this is seasonably cool air. You know, we're still not too far from our daily normals now that we are in mid-December. A little bit of a milder trend to the south and west. That's staying there for a while, by the way. We've got a high-pressure dominant pattern moving in, and so you'll see a lot of those numbers like in the 40s and 50s in the plains over the next 2 weeks. And at times, we'll be able to tap into some of that, which will get our numbers up into the 40s. But versus the wind chill today, the temperatures only climb to those middle 30s, and we're going to feel more like the 20s, and then by the evening, more like the teens as we head into the overnight. But again, that's still not too far off of our normals for the time of year. So quick look at satellite and radar once again shows some pretty quiet conditions, generally speaking, across the Great Lakes area. We've just got, again, those clouds hanging around, but there is a little pocket of clearing easing its way through Chicago. They're now into the sunshine, and I think parts of the southwest, far southwest viewing area, that is, might be able to get into a little bit of sun right before it goes down, but I think most of us are going to stay trapped under these clouds here. So we'll quickly look at the hour-by-hour forecast, though I won't show you much because there's really not a lot to see. The numbers this evening go to the upper 20s. They'll rise back to around the freezing mark tonight, and then as we head into tomorrow, they climb back up into the 30s, and so that's kind of where we'll be on our Tuesday. More sunshine is expected Wednesday. We'll look only quickly at the 10-day forecast because, once again, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. You see we're in the upper 30s the next few days, but midweek sunshine opens back up, and we're at 44 Thursday, 47 on Friday. We ride out into the weekend with some of those milder numbers as well. The normal highs by the weekend will be mid-30s, and so heading out into Sunday, that puts us close to 10 to 15 degrees above normal by the time we hit the weekend. And even next week, it looks like the 40s will continue. Now, we don't do a forecast that goes longer than 10 days, but we do have a couple of things that we look at to try to judge what it will be like. And here's the current 8 to 14 day outlook, which takes us out to Christmas Day. At this point, that bullseye signifies not necessarily a heat wave of any sort, but it means much above temperatures are compared to normal are expected. And so that's kind of the trend we're headed towards the Christmas holiday, which again, everyone asking about the white Christmas. Well, this 8 to 14 day outlook alone would seem to suggest we're going to be maybe too warm for any snow, even if a system decides to come our way. And so if we were to get anything, it would have to be a late overnight. And even then, you're talking about average highs being warm enough to melt anything off really quickly, even if we did get something at nighttime. And so not looking real likely for a white Christmas as of right now. Of course, again, 2 weeks away, that could change. But something that we know looks like it's a little bit of a better bet is taking a peek at the Geminid meteor shower. So I want to talk about this quickly.
That's a
because
cool graphic.
It's a pretty cool thing we have going on. And so certainly going to have some opportunities to see a few different of these meteors that are going to be out there. So this is, by all accounts, one of the most impressive meteor showers of the year. A lot of people really like the Perseid meteor shower, and the reason for that in August is because, well, in August it's summertime, people are out and about, it's warm, and so if you get a nice clear night, you're more likely to sit around outside and go, you know what, I got some patience. I can wait if it's still 70 degrees at 10 o'clock for me to wait and see some of these. Whereas for this, we're expecting clear skies, but temperatures in the 20s. And so, you know, it tends to be a little tougher to say to your buddy, hey, I want to go out and watch this meteor shower. It's going to be 22 degrees. I don't know about that. You know, it's a little tougher of a sell, but it is one of the more impressive ones of the year. It occurs Wednesday night. That's going to be the peak. We're expecting it to carry into early Thursday morning. It'll rise in the east. And the thing about this, too, that works out for us is that it's going to be a waxing crescent moon that is just a day past the new moon phase, which means that the moon is just a little sliver instead of big and bright. And it goes down right after sunset. And so you'll have a nice dark sky as well to look forward to for that. Now, this meteor shower is also known for being rich in these like bright, big fireball meteors.
Oh, do they have the tails at the end?
Yep. And so this one is most known for ones like that. They tend to be have like a bit of a yellow color as they burn
cool.
up. They enter the Earth's atmosphere at 22 miles per second. Not per hour, per second. To get
you should do a whole story on this. You have so much knowledge.
To get per hour, you've got to multiply it by 60 minutes in an hour, or 60 seconds in a minute, and then 60 minutes in an hour. So to do a quick 22 times 3,600 to get it in miles per hour, you get about 79,200 miles per hour.
Jeez.
So that's pretty fast coming into the atmosphere. Of course, most of these are no bigger than a grain of rice, and so they burn up and they cause a large thing that you can see even a couple miles up in the sky. And so pretty cool to watch that take place. And of course, if you got the time and you got the ability to do so, and you maybe have some hot chocolate or something to help you tough it out, definitely want to wear the layers and give yourself a little time to adjust to the darkness as well. But we've got on the graphic here, this is again called the Geminid meteor shower because when Earth passes through this field in outer space, these appear to be coming from the direction of the constellation Gemini, or the twins. And so that's what we're going to be looking at here. And so if you find Gemini in the sky out there, a simple smartphone app can usually help you locate that. Or if you're a little more of an astronomy type person, then you can always, of course, look up where it's going to be in the
sky. Get your telescope
roughly.
out.
And I can help you out with this compass here, which when it rises in the evening, it will be in the eastern sky. And so that's what that is on the bottom right of the screen. Of course, since the Earth rotates, it'll go up overhead, and so it won't sit in the east the whole night. But, you know, that's where it'll
start there.
Yeah, that's where it'll start. And as the night goes on, it'll be directly overhead and eventually set in the west as we get closer to sunrise. As with every one of these dark events, I think the best viewing will be after 10 p.m., and the peak will be probably around 1 or 2 in the morning. And
so it'll be chilly during that time, but with 120 meters per hour, you can make lots of wishes to wish that you were a bit warmer.
Exactly. And it's a good opportunity to see them, too, especially since, in the wintertime, we're usually very cloudy here, even at night. And so when we get a nice clear night, even if it's cold, I know that there are folks out there who certainly won't mind, and they'll brave the cold, and they'll get out and check them out. But this is a good opportunity, I think, for folks to be able to see that. And so I just figured I'd share that information because, we're going to get a good opportunity to do that, and it could be one of the best meteor showers that we get all year. Of course, if you do miss this one, the specific Geminid meteor shower will not occur until we get to next December. However, just because of the position of the Earth when it goes around the sun, and that's what it passes through. But, of course, there are several other meteor showers throughout the year, including the Orionids and then also the Perseids and all sorts of other ones that usually, once again, are associated and named for the constellation in which they appear near. So, Perseid meteor shower appears near the constellation Perseus. Orionid meteor shower, well, you can guess from there. And same thing with the Gemini and the Geminid meteor shower. And so just thought, once again, it's pretty cool info. Figured I would share. The forecast looks pretty good for viewing this, even though it will be chilly. But as I mentioned, and we'll go back real quick here to not only the 8 to 14-day outlook, but one further back to the 10-day. And you can see, once again, we've got 40s from Thursday onward. And so you can be a little chilly and bundled up Wednesday night with a low of 23 degrees, but we're going to head right back to the 40s for the rest of the 10-day after that. And so you can just tell yourself, as you're sitting out there watching those beautiful fireballs light up the night sky, hopefully you're lucky enough to catch one, that warmer days are ahead, which you normally wouldn't say as you're heading deeper into December, but here we are. And so you got that to look forward to as well.
Well, don't waste a wish then on it being warmer, because those warmer days in the 10-day forecast, they are following that meteor shower.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, when we'll jump ahead one more time to this outlook, it is looking once again like we're going to be above normal even out towards the Christmas holiday. And so, again, those questions we've had rolling in, we've gotten lots of them over the past couple of days, so I figured I'd address it. I'm sure I'll get more. But above normal temperatures are expected to be the pattern, not only here, but across much of the country, as you can see here, headed out into the Christmas time frame. Once again, doesn't mean that we're 100% not going to have a white Christmas, but at this point, I would say it's going to be really hard to do it. And in all likelihood, we probably will at least be in the 40s on Christmas Day. Based on how it's trending right now, we maybe could be even warmer. It could be our third in 5 years that we top 50 degrees on Christmas if we keep this warmer pattern. And so, of course, First Alert Weather Team will continue to monitor all the changes, and one of the great places that you can check that out, of course, is what we always promote here on our fabulous show, and that's the First Alert Weather app. Once again, all you need to do is search WILX Weather to download that. It's free in Google Play and the App Store. It's got interactive radar, severe weather outlooks, and all sorts of other user-friendly different options that you can look at to try to help plan your day and your week ahead. And once again, this is updated by all of the First Alert meteorologists several times daily so that you always have the latest information. It never goes more than a couple of hours, even in quiet weather like the stretch we're entering here, without being updated, so you know exactly what to expect. And so that's something we are very proud of, and hopefully you enjoy the app if you have it. If you don't, very easy to download. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, and I will say what you did see on that graphic where Just had the hour by hour, you can do so much more on the app like Justin was mentioning. So if you don't have it already, then you probably don't know all the wonderful tools that are on there. So download it for free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store to get your updates. Otherwise, you can tune in to see Justin more coming up at 3 o'clock.
Of course. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to make mention of?
No, that's about it. I got a lot to talk about today, even though there's not a lot going on in weather. And so, again, hopefully you got an opportunity to go out and catch the meteor shower. And even, though it's not the peak tonight or tomorrow, we are going to have a couple pockets of clearing this evening. If you try to step outside for a little bit, let your eyes adjust, you might be able to catch some tonight as well, because it's not just on Wednesday night you can see them. That's just when we expect the peak to occur. And so even the following day, Thursday night, you might be able to see them, and it'll be a little warmer Thursday night as well, as long as we can keep the skies clear any of the nights this week. If you happen to glance outside and see, it's clear skies, give yourself 20, 30 minutes to adjust to the darkness, and then try to look up, see what you find.
All right. I know. That's the key part, and you always remind me of that, because I always walk out and I'm like, oh, there's only a few out there right now. And then once
Yeah.
you sit out longer, you're like, oh no, there's so many more
Yeah,
stars.
and it's hard, again, especially when it's this chilly outside, when it's going to be in the 20s for that. It's tougher because you go outside and you go, oh, I'm not really about this. And then you're out there for like 5 minutes and you don't have time to be patient because you're freezing, right? Whereas in the summer, it's like you go outside and you're like, oh, man, this is sweet. So
I can
it's
lay
like,
out
then
here
you
for
go,
hours.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Perseids? Oh, man, I don't see anything. But you're out there for an hour before you finally go, oh, hey, there's a few. Well, this one, you'll see them sooner. You just got to tough it out a little longer in the cold, unfortunately. But, that's kind of the give and take that we have.
Yeah.
And, the risk is worth the reward sometimes. And hopefully it is for folks who try to catch this one.
I'd say so.
So Geminid meteor shower, going to be a good one to watch, I think.
All right, well, I'm glad you brought that to our attention
Of
because that
course.
is something fun happening this
Yeah,
week.
no doubt. Well, without much going on in weather, that's something to talk about.
Gotta
right?
have something.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
All right, well, we do want to preview what we have coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today during First at 4, and of course during our 90 minutes of news. So I know we do not have the snow out there, and like Justin was saying, it might be a little bit of a while before we get that snow. But hey, we are in the winter season, which means you want to be prepared. We had the winter survival guide that was put together nicely by our meteorologists. And so they're getting you ready for the winter, and this also includes winterizing your car and other great to know tidbits for the winter season, of course. But coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today, we're bringing in Liskey's, and so Jerry Carpenter from Liskey's to talk about winterizing your car, whether that's your tires, for your tire pressure, maybe your treads, anything else to get your vehicle ready, as well as you ready in case of an emergency. During the winter, make sure you tune in. Coming up, News 10 at 5, we are live in downtown Lansing for the lighting of the city's menorah. And I believe today's the fifth day of Hanukkah? 5th or 6th. We are getting there. Yes. But yeah, good little time. Matt, one of our producers here, has been getting his little gifts. He got his 5th gift today, so that was cute.
There you go.
News 10 at 5:30. Kids in Jackson were able to spend the day with heroes, both of the law enforcement and Jolly Variety, in a Shop with a Cop event. So that took place this morning. There is another time frame happening this Thursday, December 14th. If there are any children in the Mid-Michigan area, Jackson, Brooklyn area, looking for that Christmas, you'll be able to shop with fire and police officers. And then coming up, News 10 at 6, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed the final bill in the Reproductive Health Act. So we'll have more on what this bill means for Michiganders coming up during News 10 at 6. But this is what you can expect coming up during our 90 minutes of news. We're going to get to the reporters in just a second here, but until then, Justin, anything else that you would like to make mention of?
Watch us at 3 o'clock for Studio 10. Should be nice. And then, of course, stick around for First at 4 as well, where we'll both be holding down the fort.
Yes, we will.
Keeping you up to date with all the latest stories. And then we've got, of course, our award-winning 90 minutes of news as well to look forward to. So a lot of good programming on this evening with the quiet weather and being a little chilly outside. Nice night to just hang out indoors, enjoy all we've got to offer.
All right, sounds good. And again, you can see Justin coming up at 3 o'clock today. All right, thank you, Justin.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to send it to our reporters. We have Deanna, who's out and about, so we're going to send it to her in just a second here. All right. We'll do a little
Very good.
maneuvering.
Yep, go ahead.
There we go. Good luck for Studio 10.
Thank you very much.
See Justin at 3. There you go. When is that coming up? Half an hour. You've got half an hour. There you go. Grab a snack, grab some water, go to the bathroom, and tune in. I do have to move this. I need to make sure this doesn't fall like last time. Okay, there we go. We're going to check in with Deanna Giles. Oh, and it looks like that's not working. 1 second here. Crystal. Can you grab Crystal? That's not working. We need the audio. Our little remote here is not working and not turning up the audio, so that's awkward. We'll get to one other thing before we get to that then. We are going to talk about the You're Not Alone mental health series. Thank you, Justin. So You're Not Alone mental health series, we are doing that all year long here on News 10. And so coming up this week, and you've maybe even seen different stories throughout this past month, and we've been doing it for the past several months. Is our You're Not Alone mental health series, speaking with community members as well as health experts, talking about what you need to know to improve your mental well-being. And on top of that, speaking to the community members who have faced those different mental health challenges, whether it's depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, stress, anything of the sort, especially as we're getting into the joyful holiday season. I put air quotes around joyful because it can be a very stressful and lonely time of season for some people out there. So depending on your situation, no matter what you're going through, know that you're not alone. You can scan that QR code on your screen that'll pop up in a few seconds here. If you bring out your cell phone camera, scan that QR code, you'll be able to find a list of resources around the Mid-Michigan area to talk about or to talk with a counselor, therapist, psychotherapist, behavioral counseling, anything of the sort. Go scan that QR code for more resources. One more thing you can also do is call or text the Lifeline chat number 988. Call or text 988, and that will connect you to someone who's gone through a similar experience as you. And I do want to make note that if you are a veteran, if you press option number 1 on your phone, that will connect you directly to another veteran. Again, that way you have someone who's gone through a similar experience, or really able to share what you've gone through and get better guidance through that time as well. So know that you're not alone. We do have more resources on our website, as well as that QR code one more time. Go ahead and scan that. Otherwise, you can find more stories released on air and online here at News 10, talking with community members and health experts. But like I was saying, we do have our reporters out in the field now that Crystal helped me with the audio, so we're going to see what Deanna has coming up News 10 at 6.
Taylor, I am here at the Salvation Army Toys for Tots distribution, where more than 6,000 children will now be able to see a tree full of presents for this Christmas. I'm Deanna Giles, and I spoke with one parent who says it's a blessing to receive this help. I'll have that story during our 90 minutes of news. Back to you, Taylor.
Thank you, Deanna. And you're seeing all of the many toys just behind Deanna on just this wall. So you can expect or assume how many more toys there are. And based off of our Toys for Tots toy drive that we held last week, so many toys came pouring into our station and also our sponsor locations. So thank you again for your generous impact this holiday season. Now, that is all we have, Deanna. All right, thank you. One more time, I will pull up the You're Not Alone mental health series because, again, even though Justin was saying we're not getting as cool of temperatures that you might typically expect around the month of December, and without that snow and that rain as much as you would typically get too, that can usually affect your mood. However, even with this cold weather, it's not as cold as maybe usually, but it's still cold out and it's still getting dark earlier out. So that can affect how your body is feeling, whether you're sleeping, you're eating, even just your emotions. So again, go scan that QR code if you need it. Maybe you don't need it right now, but maybe in the future. So have that ready on your phone. You can have it for you or someone else, and know that you're not alone. That is what we have on this Monday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.